Okay, well, great. So thank you so much, Cindy, and thank you everybody here that is a part of the event tonight. I'm just so pleased. My name is Rick Sluter, Vice Provost for Student Success and Dean of University College. And so to all of our participants and also to all of our panelists, I'd just like to thank you for taking time to really tonight to learn how to learn. Now that sounds so unusual, right? But that's what this is about. It's like to learn how to learn. And that's really what we're preparing to do. We don't think of it that often, but it's really about working smarter in the classroom, being prepared to learn how to learn. And so the experts are here. I'm not going to take any great amount of time to try to give any words of wisdom or anything like that. One principle, though, that I would ask that you abide by tonight and then this semester at least, and that is that there's no such thing as a bad question. And so there's different ways for you to ask some questions here tonight. We'll explain those things, and there is no such thing as a bad question. The only thing that could happen is that if you don't ask the question that you need to, not good things happen. So please ask your questions. We're here to help. I'm so pleased that you would take a moment to be a part of this. It really is just a moment to learn how to learn and to do our best for the semester. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Brian Hinot, my colleague.
Thank you so much, Dean Sluter. So yes, I'm Brian Hinot. I wear a number of hats here at MTSU. First of all, I'm a faculty member. I'm a professor of sociology here at MTSU. I also serve as interim chief online learning officer here at MTSU Online and associate vice provost for data analytics and student success. And I'm here to introduce a few of my colleagues, and there's another one that's joining us right there. As Dr. Sluter said, I'm the last one that stands in the way of the experts here, so I want to get out of your way here momentarily. But before we do that, I want to reiterate and re-emphasize the value placed upon student success at MTSU. So the success of our students is one of the broader overarching goals that really everyone here at this great university embraces and promotes and works their very hardest to support as students move through their time here at MTSU. So I want to offer just a couple of quick points of reference. These things will probably be reinforced with my colleagues' work here in just a few moments. But with keeping student success in mind, some principles to help you as an online student be successful. First and foremost, seems pretty straightforward, but you might be surprised how many overlook it. Log into your courses and do so regularly. That's obviously critically important. Second of all, engage the material in your courses, but also think about engaging your professor and engaging your peers. So much of how courses are designed are meant to facilitate that connection. And really, in an online or virtual or an on-the-ground environment, making those connections are really some of the most powerful parts of the university experience. Third, if you need help, if you need assistance, then please ask. I'm about to introduce my close colleague, Ms. Tanya Dowd, here shortly, but there are a plethora of resources here at MTSU. And if you aren't sure where to find them, reach out to Tanya, reach out to your academic advisor, heck, reach out to me and I'll help you get plugged in to wherever you need to be. And that goes, I think, for most or all of my colleagues here as well. As I said, I want to fourth, reiterate our commitment to student success. I want you to let us know how we can best support you as well. Again, these colleagues are here tonight to help you. I'm here as a student success and distance learning professional to make sure that we're supporting students at the highest level possible. So again, reach out to me anytime that I can assist in any of the ways that I just mentioned. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce a handful of my all-star colleagues. Such a great part of the work taking place at MTSU are the awesome people that we get to work with. So first, and just raise your hand and give the crowd a wave here. Cindy Adams, Director of MTSU Online. Next, Dr. Kim Godwin and Tara Perrin, MTSU Online Instructional Designers. Third, Tanya Dowd is our MTSU Online Student Services Coordinator. Next, Sharon Parente from MTSU Walker Library Distance Learning Services. And finally, Dr. Erica Cirillo McCarthy, Director of the University Writing Center and Assistant Professor of English. And I think I got everyone. You already heard from Vice Provost and Dean Sluter. And with all that said, I'll turn the floor over to Dr. Kim Godwin and Tara Parent.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Hinot. As he said, I'm Dr. Kim Godwin, and I am one of the instructional designers for MTSU Online. And my role here tonight is to teach you a little bit about how to use D2l, which my guess is why a whole lot of people are here. D2l is actually the learning management system that we use for our online hybrid remote web-assisted courses at MTSU. So I'm just going to jump right in. And as I go, if you have any questions, if you need some more information, if you need some clarity, please feel free to use the Q&A that is available at the bottom of your Zoom screen, or to use the chat. Either one of those is an opportunity for you to ask questions and engage with us. We will do our best to answer those questions as we go. If we are not able to get to any tonight, or if it seems that there is a theme, we will definitely create some resources for students moving forward to answer those questions for you. All right. And here we go. Okay, so when you first log in to D2l, the very first time you go, I actually will go to the MTSU website and show you from the very beginning the best way to log into D2l. So D2l, there are a couple different ways you can get to it, but the best one is to actually go to the MTSU website, go to Quick Links, which is in the top right corner, and then go to D2l from there. The reason that you want to use the D2l from Quick Links as opposed to Pipeline or other locations you may have seen it is that it will not log out or time out if you use the Quick Link. If you use Pipeline, Pipeline can log out after a certain amount of time, and we don't want you to lose any of your work. So please make sure that you go to it through the Quick Links. D2l is the best and easiest way to get there. When you first log in, the first time it pops up, it will give you the opportunity to log into your account. You will see that I have a few different personalities in D2l. You should have just the one. It is your student login. It is the same information that you use to log into your email and your single sign-on. So you will, the first time you do it, you will type in your email address, and I'm actually going to log in as my MTSU Online fake student one, so that I can show you what D2l looks like from a student's perspective as opposed to a faculty perspective. So you will select your email address and enter it. You will then enter your password. Mine is saved on this computer only so that I knew it would work when we were logging on this. I don't normally encourage people to save their passwords, but for this one situation, we decided to go ahead and do that. So you'll type in your password, which again is the same password that you use for your email. It is your single sign-on. We sign in, and D2l pops up. Sometimes it moves a little faster than others, but D2l will pop up. This is basically what your D2l screen will look like. Across the top is your home key. So if you ever get lost in D2l and you don't know where you are, just hit that home button. It's there. It will take you back to the main landing page. Other items on this page that are helpful are an email link and a calendar link. Up here at the top, there is a 9-box grid, which is a way you can search for classes. The next one over is actually your D2l email messages. So if you have a little orange dot right here, it lets you know that you have an email. The next one over is for chat and subscription alerts. Your faculty members may or may not use chat in the class. So you may not have many things show up here. And then last is the update alerts. So these two, when they have little orange dots, it means that there is something in there that has either changed in your class or someone has sent you a notification. And I am gonna, so normally you would have little boxes right here that look a little bit like an app, and you would click on the picture, but for whatever reason, mine is going very slow today. So we're gonna look at my development shell 2, and I'm gonna show you what a class looks like. Hopefully it's okay. The only thing that's missing is the pretty little image at the top. So at the top up here, there should be a cute little blue image that just says MTSU and I'm True Blue. So that's what's missing. But this is basically what a course is going to look like when you log into it the first time. It's going to take you to what is called the course home. And that is going to be the farthest left on your nav bar when you log into a class. You will then have news announcements. You will have calendar information and potential updates. In this one, it says that as this student, I haven't taken a quiz yet. So it's telling me that I need to go take that quiz. And then it's also telling me that I have 2 different assignments that are coming due at some point in the near future. If this was a full class, you would have more assignments in it, but this is a sample, so I only put the 2. In addition to news, you may also have a little box that has instructor information. So it may have your instructor's name, their contact information, or a little bit more about them on that main page. Sometimes there are also links to publishers. So if you have a textbook that is linked with your class, there may also be a link from this main homepage to that. This is a very basic, simple shell, so it doesn't have all of the extra things. But if you have questions about any of those, please feel free to ask in the Q&A or the chat, and we are happy to help you with that. Once you have logged in the first time and read your news announcements, you're going to want to click on content. Content is where everything happens in your class. So you're going to want to click on the content. And when content comes up, typically the very first time that you go into a class, it will click on your overview. That is a basic introduction for the class. So here's my little message to you all. It's a strange time. We're doing everything we can. We're here to support each other to get through what happens in this fall semester and with the world that we're living in presently. So this is what your class would look like. You're going to have your overview. You're going to have your course schedule, which is the same as that calendar that it showed you on the first page. And you're going to have a table of contents. Underneath your table of contents are going to be slightly different things depending on your instructor and depending on your course. There are some things that are pretty common though, so I'm going to go through some of those. You are probably going to have an area that is called a syllabus or contact information. So for this one, here is a sample syllabus. And then here is some instructor information. It's a little bit about me. They're not always going to look like this. Some of them are not going to have a picture. Some of them may not have all the exact same information, but there should be a point in one of those very first things under your table of contents that tells you all of your faculty's contact information, as well as a link to the syllabus. Now, as a little side note, you'll see the bar across the top that says I have completed 0% of this course at this point. If I click on the syllabus will open for me. And here's the syllabus for this course. We can view the syllabus. It gives us all of the information we need about being successful in the class. And then you can either, if you would like to go back, you can click on the previous link. So where it said syllabus or contact information, you can click back on your web bar, or you can click these arrows. This is going to take us back to that main page, mostly because I wanted to show you that because I've clicked on my syllabus, it now says that I've completed 100% of the activities in this section. So it's a great way to kind of keep track of what you're doing. And it gives you a little check mark that says you've done this. Some courses will have a breakout section that has D2l and student resources. If you have questions about D2l or you need information, please contact either your faculty member or Tanya or anyone with the help desk. We all have this information. It is also available on the Students Stay on Course website. There are D2l tools and tips located for you there, as well as an additional video to this one about using D2l the first time, and then some pointers and tips about how to use things. So if you ever have questions, the D2l tools and tips that is located in a lot of places tells you how to use most of the basic tools that we use in D2l at MTSU. So feel free to ask us about that, and we can probably get that sent out to you if you would like a copy of it. Next, you're going to have your first module for the class. In your class, this may be called module or unit or week, or it may just be called getting started or course introduction or course information, course documents, something like that, that it's clear that this is where you need to start your class. So when you click on that the very first time, some information is going to come up for you. Typically, instructors will put information at the top about things that you need to do, steps that you need to take, or items that you need to complete. In this particular class, there is an academic integrity and true blue pledge that is required for students to see the rest of the academic content of the class. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. All you have to do to complete that is click on the hyperlinked information. It opens that document for you. You read through the academic misconduct policy, which is the official academic misconduct policy for the university. You would enter your name. This one also requires us to reaffirm that we believe in the True Blue Pledge, and I do. So I would say true, and then submit the survey. I do want to submit it. It now says that I have submitted my survey. And I wanted to go ahead and do that for y'all because there are some conditions on this class that do lock the academic content, and I want to show you what's different now that I've completed that survey. So I don't know if you noticed before, but before I completed the survey, the information for this class stopped after Module 1, Getting Started, and Course Introduction. All that was available to me was the survey and the have a question, ask the class discussion board. Now that I've completed the survey, the other academic requirements for the class have become available to me. So at that point, you would be able to start working through the class for the learning information, for the different activities and things that you would need to complete. Within your D2l units or modules or week, however they're listed, your faculty members are going to have PowerPoint presentations, links to YouTube videos, links to other information that might be helpful for you for the class in order to communicate and have content conveyed to you in terms of learning and instruction. Those are going to look different depending on each class, but they're going to be located in these different modules, units, or weeks as makes the most sense to that faculty member. If you feel like you can't find something, please remember to reach out to your faculty members. They are there to help you. So in this class, the first thing that I am being asked to do is to complete my introduction discussion. Now, before I click on the introduction discussion here in the module, it is possible that in your classes, not all of your discussions will be in the module. So I want to show you how to get to those if they are not embedded right here on this main screen. There are two different ways to get to discussions, and discussions are really common in online, hybrid, remote, and web-assisted courses. So there are two different ways to get there if it is not in the class. One is through the Assessments tab. When you click on the Assessments tab, all of the assessments that are available in this class are listed. So we have discussion, Dropbox, grades, quizzes, surveys, rubrics, there's some awards, and then class progress. And then also under communication is discussion. So you can get to it from either location. Either one is going to get you to where you need to get to in terms of looking at discussions. So from the assessments, I'm going to go to discussion, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is very much I'm taking you through the things that you're going to use the most often in your D2l class so that you are feeling a little bit more comfortable. You may have gone through a day or two of class and you may still be a little confused as to where things are. I really want to try to help you feel confident with where to find the different activities, the different assessments, and how to use them so that you know what you're doing with those and you're not worrying about that in addition to new learning content and what's happening with the brand new semester. So the first one that we're going to do is the introduction. Again, I am in here as my fake student 1, but there's already some introductions in there. So when you click on it, this is what shows up in this class. It has a condition that requires me to post first before I can see anyone else's post. So this is what it will look like if that is the case. You may not have that in your class. You may be able to see everyone else's posts. So because I have to post first, I'm going to start a new thread and do my initial discussion. So to do that, you click on the Start a New Thread button. A new box pops up. My subject is Godwin Sample Introduction, and y'all are about to find out I can't always type. This is an example. Now, normally in your initial discussion, you're going to have more than 4 words, but I'm showing you just how this works and the decisions you want to make with that. One of the choices you're going to want to make with discussions is the item right under this box, and it says subscribe to this thread. You will want to decide whether or not you want to. If you leave it checked, you'll get a notification at the top where the subscription alerts are. You'll get a little orange dot anytime somebody posts to a thread that you are subscribed to. If you do not want the subscription, you simply uncheck it and then hit post. And now you can see that there are other discussions available in here from other people who have posted previously. And I wanted to give you a couple of examples of what that looks like. So I'm going to click more on this one to show you what MTSU Fake Student 2 posted to show us. So Fake Student 2 gave us a little bit of an introduction, gave us a little information, and then she posted her kids. So that's Gracie Lou, and that's Denver. They're my Great Danes. So that is how an image looks. If you are asked by an instructor to upload an image, this is what it looks like in your discussion board. I also wanted to take a moment to show you some faculty are using Video Note, and I will show you a Video Note here in a second as well, but some faculty are using Video Note. And if you are using a Video Note, this is what it will look like within the discussion board. It is very simply a video that uploads into the box, and when you click it, so there you go. There is another example of how that works, and I will show y'all a little bit about Video Note later, but that is also one of those things that is available in that tools and tips, but it is super simple to use, and you'll enjoy it. So that's discussion. I see that there are some questions going on in a couple of places, and so I will check those later if they are not being answered as we go. So back to content. I'm going to go back to my main page because I have completed my introduction discussion. I have now done everything that I need to do in Module 1 because I don't have any questions at this point for the class. So I'm going to go to Module 2. I moved on to Week 2 or Module 2 or Unit 2 because I have successfully completed all of the requirements for my first module. So in Module 2, I have an assignment folder. So there is something that I need to submit in this this week or this module for my activities for this class. So in this, you can see that I have an assignment folder that is embedded in the class. There's also a document. So this is the D2l Video Note document. And it's in there because it is actually what someone would use in order to create this assignment. I'm not actually gonna do that this time because it does some weird stuff with cameras. So that is how a document might show for directions or instructions that you might need in order to complete an assignment. So I'm ready to submit my assignment. You click on the assignment folder and then it takes you to the next assignment page. If in your class, the folder is not embedded on the main page, if you go back up under assessments at the top nav bar, it is up there as Dropbox. Dropbox is where assignments are submitted. So if you have someone telling you it's an assignment folder or they're referencing to submitting an assignment, it is in Dropbox. So we'll click on Dropbox. It's going to take us to the folder that we have available. So I am going to click on this folder so that I know that I need to submit something. Now you will, you will see that there's an attachment here. It is actually the same instructions that were on the other page. I wanted to show you what that would look like if this is where a faculty member chooses to put their instructions. This is what an assignment folder looks like when you are preparing to submit your assignment. So sometimes your assignment instructions will be up here where it says sample assignment instructions. Sometimes it will be as an attachment in the instructions, and sometimes it will be as an additional file on the main screen of your content. So this one requires me to add a file. So I'm going to add a file. I'm going to add it from my computer. And we're going to add Lightning as our file that we're adding. I don't have any actual assignments, so you get a picture of Lightning. Once it loads, this will actually change from the green bar to this link right here, where if you realize that you uploaded the wrong document, you can remove it without submitting it. You simply just hit the X to remove it. If you are happy with what is in there, you simply push add. It is now attached to your folder and is ready for submission. The comments box is available for you to add additional comments if you want to add something for your faculty member to view in addition to the information that you have put in there. If you had an issue, if you had some questions, if there were some things that you ran into or you wanted to add a little bit of extra information, this is the spot where you can do that. You can add a sentence, you can attach additional documents or images or videos. When you are ready, you click submit at the bottom of the page. And this is really important. You're not done when you hit submit. You're not done until you hit done. So make sure that after you submit something, you also hit done so that you know that it has actually been submitted. So you click the done button. And then it actually pops up and shows you that you have one submission and one file. It says that this is not due until September 1st, so I was way ahead of the game. And it shows my score here. Now, the reason I want to show you that is that once your faculty member has this information and goes in and evaluates your score, this is where your grade can show up, as well as whether or not you have received feedback. So in just a second, I'm going to talk about some important reminders and information that you should know in terms of D2L. And one of those things is review feedback. Faculty spend time giving you information and giving you feedback. Make sure that you're viewing that because they may be giving you some tips to help you improve your grades or improve with future submissions that might have similar activities with them. One additional point that I wanted to note, I don't know if you've noticed, but up here at the very top, I now have a message alert in my D2L email. D2L automatically sends me an email that I have a submission. It lets me know that I submitted something. So not only can I see it in my Dropbox folder, but I can also see that I actually submitted it and it is available because I got a notification from D2L that it was submitted. This is what a Dropbox folder looks like. So if y'all have any questions about that, make sure to let us know in the questions or in the chat. So I'm going to go back to content and I am going to show you my week 3 or module 3 or unit 3.
Hey, Kim.
Yes.
May I interrupt for just a second? Somebody says that she cannot see your screen. I don't know really how to, what to recommend on that.
Can everybody else see my screen?
I've been chatting with her.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what's going on
Okay.
for her. The other ones can see the screen just because I'm getting questioned.
Okay. 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 Sorry. It'll be on a recording, so we'll be able to show you later. I'm sorry. One thing I did want to show you before I go to module 3 is that, as you can see, I've only completed 50% of the items on this one because I did not click on this activity. So if I wanted to get to 100%, I can simply click on this button. And this actually will show you what the instructions were for that activity. So these were the sample instructions that I put in there. So now when I go back to module 2, it will show that I have 100% complete. So module 3, the only thing in this one is a quiz. You may or may not have quizzes in your classes. So for this one, again, I embedded the quiz in the class, but I also want to show you how to get to quizzes in case it's not actually embedded in the module. Because it is possible the faculty member could create a document or upload a document that says, these are the steps that you need to take this week in your class. And so you would then just go into D2L and go to assessments, go to communications, go to the different locations to find the activities that you need to be completing. So for quizzes, again, I'm going to go to assessment. And it is also possible that someone else's nav bar, that top nav bar up here, does not look the same. Some faculty will pull out the resources that they use in their class and not have the other ones included. So it is definitely possible that you will have a class that says course home, content, discussion, Dropbox, quiz, Zoom video, help. It is definitely possible. So on your first day that you're in your class, kind of look around at that nav bar and see what's available and see where things are so that you feel a little more confident with what's going on in yours. This is one sample of what this could look like. So quizzes. So we're going to click on quizzes, and I'm going to take this student to take a quiz. So here we have a quiz. This allows me one attempt. That's what the 0-1 means. It means that I have one attempt to take this quiz. And this quiz is due on the 27th of August. I'm going to go ahead and take it now. So yay, I'm way ahead of the game. So when you click on a quiz, this is the information that appears. It tells you about the quiz. It tells you your time. It tells you who you are. It tells you your quiz period and when it's due. It tells you how much time you have. Now, my quiz is unlimited, but yours may actually have a time limit. So please pay close attention to that. And quizzes are the #1 issue with if you log in through Pipeline and it times out, this is where it could hit you. So always use that quick links on the MTSU homepage and go to D2L from there so you do not lose track of a quiz. I have one attempt allowed. I have 0 completed. This is the information about what I need to do in terms of completing my quiz. I'm great with this. I'm ready to go. So I'm going to click start. If you are not ready to take your quiz and it is a timed quiz, do not click start because the timer starts the second that you click that button. So please make sure that you are ready to take your quiz when you click this button. So start quiz. And this is what my quiz looks like. There are 4 questions on this quiz. I wanted to give you an example of different types of questions you may see. Hopefully I get these correct. But these are some of the different questions that you might see in terms of style of questions. We have true, false. Yes, we are located in Murfreesboro. And as you can see, it gave me a little saved. It's saving my quiz answers as I go. Question 2, the MTSU mascot is, that's going to be lightning. The banana slug really is a mascot. I'm just throwing that out there for helpful information in life. But lightning is our mascot. MTSU's colors are, this is a multiple select question. If you see the boxes instead of the circles, that means you can select more than one option. Blue and white are our colors. So you'll see that both have been checked here, and it said, and then I have a written response question as well, where as you begin the fall semester at MTSU, what are you most excited about and why? I am excited about fall classes. And now I'm ready to submit my quiz. It asks you twice. You got to make sure you really want to do it. So you're going to want to submit your quiz twice. If you are really second guessing and you still have time, you can actually go back to your questions and review them if the quiz allows for that parameter. But if you're ready to go, hit that submit quiz. Hit done, because we got to do this. Make sure you hit done. Hit your submits and your dones. And then you have, it gives you notification that you have completed your attempt. And then this is where your score is. It is possible in some classes that you could get an automatic grade on your test. It is also possible that you could get automated feedback. So again, that information will show up right away if it is automated. Otherwise, you will need to wait for your faculty member to grade it. So those are the primary resources that you're going to use in terms of activities and assessments in your class. There is one other item that I wanted to show you before we talk just a little bit more about some helpful tips in terms of D2L, and we move on to letting other people talk, because y'all have heard me for a while, so you're probably ready for somebody else.
Dr. Godwin?
But the one other thing, most of your fall classes may have this opportunity. MTSU online classes may not, but if you are taking hybrid, remote, or web assisted, you may have Zoom meetings within your classes that may be required or at least strongly encouraged. If you have Zoom classes, it is very likely that your Zoom meetings are scheduled and linked in your D2L. To get to those, you simply click Zoom. And we have one meeting scheduled for this class. It is today at 7 p.m. It is in this class. This is our Zoom meeting ID. And on the right-hand side, it says join, or it says view invitation. If we were ready to join, we would simply click the join button. It will pop up into your Zoom, and it says I'm already in another meeting because I'm in this meeting and I'm the host. So I cannot actually get into this meeting. So, but that is what it will do. It will pop up your Zoom meeting right there out of D2L. So it takes a step out for you. You're already signed in to D2L. So you're already signed into your Zoom account and you're ready to go. It is possible that you may have some videos from some of your classes that are recorded. Videos can be found here. There aren't any videos in this class, but when you click on this, it actually will pop up and take you to where videos may be embedded for your class. So I would encourage you to take a little bit of time on these first couple of days and just kind of play around with your D2L class and see where things are located. So I am actually going to stop my screen share, and then I'm going to give you a couple of tips about using D2L before we move on to the next person.
Hey, Dr. Godwin?
Yes.
I was trying to catch you before you stopped your screen share, because we had one question about how to go through a discussion, a threaded discussion, like what's the best way to move through to be able to read discussions?
The best way to do discussions?
Yeah, to be able to read them as you go through them. Because you
Sure.
showed the buttons, the buttons on the top for navigating through D2L, but we just had a question about what is the
Absolutely.
best way to read a discussion thread so you can see everyone's posts.
Absolutely. So we're going to go back to that introduction discussion, and we will click into that so that y'all can see what it looks like again. So I am going to select one of the other ones because we just posted this one during this class, but I'm going to click on one of my fellow classmates' discussions so that you can see what that information looks like. And then I'm also going to reply to them so that you can see how that appears. Thank you for pointing that out. That's pretty helpful. So, okay, so here is Fake Students 2, their initial post. This is their information. The way that you reply to another student in your class, because you may be asked to reply to other students in your class, the way that you reply is you simply click reply to this thread, and then you type a little thing. Also, please type more meaningful discussion responses than that. This is just an example. And then you click post. And this is how it looks once you have replied. So when you go in to look at either a classmate's discussion or your own after you have posted it and people start replying, this is what a student thread will look like. It will have your initial post, and then it will have what people replied to you. So if we continued adding replies, if we added more and more replies, they would continue to show up underneath. And you can filter that if you would like to by unread or flagged, but it is automatically set as all posts. So these two options will allow you to filter. You can do it newest, you can do it attachments. There are a ton of ways you can do it. All posts is going to show up in the order that they appeared, and it is all posts that have been posted to your initial response. Did that answer the question, Tara? Does that help?
Yes, sorry, I couldn't unmute fast enough. Yes, it did.
Okay. Okay. So I'll go back to my stop share. But if y'all have more questions, please feel free to ask us. A couple of little pieces of information and reminders for you as you are taking classes through MTSU Online or through any type of our remote learning. Dr. Hinot mentioned a couple of them earlier, and I just want to reiterate those because those are some pretty important ones. Log in often, at least every other day. If you were going to class face-to-face, you would be going to class about every other day. Your online class is the same. Commit that time to attend about every other day. Every day is better, but if every day seems overwhelming, if you're taking more than one class, then at least every other day is going to help you with progression through the class and feeling connected. He also mentioned to ask for support. That is huge. Ask your faculty members, ask your classmates. I don't know if you noticed in this sample class that there was a discussion board about asking questions. You can, in a lot of classes, ask questions of your faculty members and your classmates right there in a discussion board. They may have the same questions you do. Dean Sluter mentioned earlier that there were no bad questions. That's very true. Someone else may have the exact same question you do. So please ask it because not only will you be helping yourself, but you'll be helping your classmates. Another one that he mentioned was to engage. That is a big one. That is a big one for me. It is a big one for student learning. By that it means actually spend the time to get to know not only the content and the information in your class, but your classmates. Spend some time reading their discussion posts. Spend some time engaging with their information. When they talk about who they are, where they're from, make a connection with them in those first introduction discussions. Later in class, when you have other discussions, if they make a comment or you are able to share a comment about how something in the learning connected to you personally or an experience you had or something that it made you think of, that helps you with engaging with the material in the class, but it also helps them. They engage with you. They help see things from a different perspective, and that really helps with our inclusion and getting diverse perspectives from our classmates as well as our faculty members and embedded librarians or anybody else who might be in the class. So really work on that and engage. One of the other points that I gave was actually when I was showing you the submission folder and I mentioned feedback. Your faculty will give you feedback. They spend time giving you feedback. Use that feedback, engage with that feedback, use that feedback to do more the next time. That feedback also could really just be there to tell you that you did an amazing job. And sometimes we just like to be told that we did something really great. We all need a little cheerleading now and then. So sometimes your feedback really is, you're amazing. I am so impressed with this. You brought to me a new way of thinking about this information. And that's so great to hear. So make sure that you're reading that feedback because you have no idea what it could be. And then one final thing with that is to plan your course in small segments. And that kind of leads back to the log in often. But if you are taking your class in small segments, it is easier for you to digest the information. It is easier for you to time manage. And it allows for, if there is a life issue like work or children or significance or pets or anything, if you are doing it as you go and you're doing it in small segments, if one of those things happen, you're not sitting there right before an assignment is due trying to read all of the resources and prepare your response in a panic. And that helps you with not having some anxiety as you're working through your class. So really take the time to log in often and do your class in small increments. And that is my D2L advice. And I don't remember if Sharon or
I think I'm next.
okay, great.
Thank you, Kim. Yes, Sharon is next.
Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and try to get my screen shared here. Okay. Okay. Can everyone see that? Is everyone seeing the library homepage now?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, just wanted to make sure because I moved it over. Well, hi everyone. I am Sharon Parente. I'm the Distance Learning Services Librarian, and I'm your point person for any questions you may have for accessing library resources from a distance. I want to go ahead and basically start off with the most important web page on the whole campus, which is the library web page. It has a very easy to remember address. You just drop that word library in front of mtsu.edu and you will get there. And this is important because we have every kind of resource that you will need, or supplementary resource for researching topics for your assignment. We have 800,000 ebooks. We have access to 600 databases, many of which are article databases. We have access to over 100,000 electronic journals, so you can get the full text of those articles right through the library webpage. And we also have access to thousands of streaming videos. Probably the first thing you're going to see when you go over here to the library webpage is that Joule search. The Joule search is a big search. It's a little like doing a Google search of your library holdings. It includes not only our library catalog right here, which is all the library owned books and materials, but it also accesses a lot of our library database articles all in one point. And it's very, very easy to use. I'm going to just run a very quick example. I'm going to go ahead and put in hurricanes since we're going to have some rain later this week, right? Laura and Marco, right? Okay. And I just kind of wanted to show you what it was going to look like. Now, because Joule Search includes our library catalog materials, it doesn't make you log in right away, but it's very important to notice this little yellow area up here at the very top where it says, "Hello guest, log in for full access." So you will click here and it will ask you to either log in with your MTSU credentials, which are your MTSU username and password, or if anybody is here tonight that is taking a class through the Tennessee Tennessee eCampus, and if MTSU is not your home school, you would want to use this option here, and there's a separate password for that. I'm going to click here, and I'm not going to actually have to log in with this because I've already been into this several times a day. Okay,
Sharon,
uh-huh.
students aren't able to see what screen you're on. It looks like it's frozen on the Walker Library homepage screen.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. It just came back with search results, but you can't see those?
No, all we see is the homepage with Joule Search.
All right. Let's try again. See if that will do something here. It's always something, isn't it?
Technology, it's great.
Oh, okay, can you see it now?
No ma'am, we still just see the one screen.
Okay.
Try to unshare and reshare.
Yeah, okay. Let's see here. All righty. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm going to click on resume share. Did that clear it up?
It sure didn't.
New
Oh,
share.
there it goes. So,
Okay.
yes. Now
Okay.
I can see your result list with hurricanes. I can see your other tabs.
Okay, great. Well, I will pop back over here then. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Well, what you would typically get if you do a general enough search is a research starter, which will give you an encyclopedia type entry and overview of your topic. And you could see, oh my goodness, 881,000 plus matches here. Well, never in my lifetime, right? Well, it is so easy to narrow this stuff down. I would start here with the publication date because I don't want historical hurricanes. I want newer hurricanes, right? Okay, so I'm going to just put in there for 2012 to 2017 and it will update. And we got rid of about 500,000 results there. I may decide that I want online only. So if I don't want print books because I'm a distant student or or print articles, I can also put in that particular limit there. And let's say you've been told to use scholarly peer-reviewed articles. Here is your insurance policy right here. That will go ahead and give you the scholarly peer-reviewed articles that you have been required to use. You can still narrow it down more. You can go down here and limit by an official subject heading. I just used a keyword, and I like using keywords. I use the words that I know to describe things, and it will update it yet again. And each time when you go through with the subjects and become more specific, there will be subheadings underneath that. So you can keep drilling down and making your search results narrower and narrower. So you can start large and then you can get narrower. So now we have a nice set of articles here. And since we limited to all full text, we have the PDF full text right there. I'm not going to go ahead and click on that because it might take a little bit of time to load up, but I promise you it'll be there. You have the ability to go in here and cite in various formats like APA or MLA, and that will pop up and let you pick which ones that you would want to use. So that will be there as well. And one thing I really like here is the share option. I can get a persistent link to this search where I can come back and get these same search results again. So after I get my search just the way I want it, I can absolutely come back. So this is just a quick way that you can do a search. And as you can see, there's really no problem at all finding a lot of resources on your topic. Over here, we have our databases A to Z list, which will show you all of the databases that the library has available here in the collection. And if you do click on any one of these, it will ask you to directly log on if you are off campus on the front end. So you could go in and take a look at any of those databases and access them. Also over here, let's say that you saw a link or another journal article that you were interested in the results list or the bibliography or reference list for an article. Or let's say you were out on Google and you found something and it's trying to shake you down for $40. No, don't ever pay the $40. Come over to the library webpage, go to Journals A to Z, and let's see if we have that journal article that you were just looking for. Let's say we're still kind of doing the hurricane thing. Let's say if our article was in the Journal of Climate. We can just click that right in there. And it's going to show you every place the library has the Journal of Climate in full text. We actually have some in print here, and that's what the Walker Library building would be if you looked at it. But as you can see here, we have every article in every issue of the Journal of Climate from 1998 to the present. If we go in through our Academic Search Ultimate database. And that would pull that up there where you would be able to go in and pick a year. And if you had a volume, an issue, you could click on that and you would see every article in that issue and the full text would be there. And so this is also a good way if one provider is having a bad day, you can go in and see if you can pull the full text from another one. And that is kind of a little trick that we will often do here as well. Let's head on back over to the home page. I wanted to point out just very quickly the research guides. These are guides that our librarians have put together on specific subjects, and they will let you know what some of the best starting places are and what best databases the library has to research in those particular areas. We also have library liaisons that are attached to many different subject areas. And we have some pictures there of our library staff who would love to help you, by the way. Let's say we were looking at advertising. That's one of the areas that I cover here. And I could go here to the advertising guide and that would put up one of my pages here. And you can email me you can schedule an appointment with me. We are doing Zoom appointments, and we would just love to have a one-on-one Zoom meeting with you, and we would be glad to schedule that. So please keep that in mind. And I've also here told you, hey, here's some of the databases that are good places to find articles dealing with advertising. So please come and visit us over there on our research guides. We would love to help you there. There is a really nice, let me just head on back here to the main page. And I wanted to point out our Get Help option up here, and you will also see this in some of the databases. But we do have an online chat service here during hours that our reference desk is being staffed. Right now it is offline for the night, but you could email us your question and we would get back to that as soon as we could. You can text us, you can call us, and if we're online, you can go in and chat with us in real time. And remember that link that I showed you that you could pull up under the share that would give you a persistent link to your search results in Joule search? A librarian can kind of help work out a search for you with some search results and then share that link in the chat box there. And our new updated chat also lets us share screens with you as well, so we can teach you how to do something. So that's a really nice feature that we have there as well. We do have some help here about, or some information about our remote services, which we have going on this fall. If you were coming to the library and wanted some print books and didn't want to have to touch them, you can do the pull and hold option here. Here's our Ask Us. We have some links if you're having some problems there as well, all available. So those are just a few things that I wanted to point out tonight. We are here to help you, and we'll hope that you will see us as a resource and come to the library webpage and access all of these wonderful resources that we have available. Please go ahead and send me some chat questions if you have any chat questions about library research, and I'll be glad to answer them for you tonight, or send me an email. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sharon. We appreciate it. Erica, if you're up next with the Writing Center.
Sure thing. All right, Sharon, I think you have to unshare.
Okay, let's see. Stop share. Okay, got it. I have too many windows open.
So many windows. But I highly recommend the chat feature on the library website. It has helped me in so many instances when I'm doing research and I need information right away. The librarians are so super helpful. So I encourage everyone to take advantage of that. All right, well, my name is Dr. Erica Cirillo McCarthy, and I'm the director of the Margaret H. Ordubadian University Writing Center here at MTSU. Today, I'm just going to talk really briefly about the University Writing Center. You, like all MTSU students, will encounter multiple types of writing projects in many of your classes, and we really want you to know that we're here to help. So we work with writers during all stages of the writing process, in all disciplines, at all levels, to help you with your writing project from start to finish. We believe in providing you with tools to gain confidence in your writing, and as such, we'll offer concrete strategies to meet assignment guidelines. And we focus on collaborating with writers to provide a peer audience throughout the writing process. So you might wonder, what can I work with a tutor on? What type of projects can I bring to a tutor? Any type of class writing project that includes essays, research papers, or academic projects in any discipline. In addition, any oral presentations, including outlines or speeches of those outlines, or outlines or speeches. We also work closely with the Career Center on professional and business writing, such as resumes, cover letters, and statements of purpose. Any type of creating writing, whether that's for a class or a personal creative writing project. Longer projects, such as honors theses or master's theses or dissertations. And if you're in an MT Engage class, we can help you build content or identify artifacts for your e-portfolio. as well as work on the reflective writing that's asked of you in those e-portfolios. And then any multimedia project. So if you're asked to create a PowerPoint for your class, a Prezi, or if you create a poster presentation, we can help you with that as well. So these are research poster presentations that maybe you would create for Scholars Week or posters on the Capitol. So for the upcoming semester, we have 2 online opportunities for you to work with writing tutors. There's live chat where you see and hear your tutor as you work on a shared document, or document drop where you post your paper and then you have email feedback emailed to you. And there's some tips that I want to share for a successful Writing Center session. We tell students to come early and come often. So what does that mean? Come as soon as you get your writing assignment. Even if you don't have anything written, you can work with a tutor one-on-one in a live chat session to brainstorm ideas and to plan out your writing project. And when we say come often, it means you can come multiple times during a writing project and multiple times during the semester, up to 1 appointment per day. When you make your appointment, we ask you to be really detailed. The more we know about your project, the better prepared we are to help you. We want to make sure you have access to your assignment sheet and any writing that you've done, even if that's just brainstorming. And we ask you to have an open mind, just like Dean Sluter said, we're learning how to become learners. We're going to try a variety of strategies with students to help you reach your writing goals. Likewise, we want you to feel free to share with us how you best learn, and we will accommodate that. We know you're really busy, you have families, you have jobs, and we want to make these sessions useful for you. So other ways that we support writers, and this is really important to you all there, we have these writing partnerships, which are excellent. They're semester-long, regularly scheduled weekly appointments with the same writing tutor. And this is great for students who want to grow specific writing skills or tackle large-scale or long-term projects, or perhaps you're a returning student and it's been a while since you've been in the classroom. This is a wonderful way to hold yourself accountable and to mitigate any writing anxiety that you might have. We also provide free writing sources online on our website. These are handouts and PDFs that you can easily download, and they cover all stages of the writing process and all disciplines. And then we also have short digital workshops on a variety of writing topics, and we're continually growing our library of short instructional videos on writing, and you can find that on our YouTube page, which you can get through from our website. So if you're looking to schedule an appointment, you can go straight to our website, and that's mtsu.edu/writing-center. Or you can go directly to our WC Online scheduler, and that's mtsu.mywconline.com. You'll be asked to create a profile, and then you'll have access to our schedule where you can schedule an appointment with a tutor, whether that's live chat or document drop. And we invite you to call the Writing Center as well. Please leave a message if we're not there. That's 615-904-8237. We'll get back to you and we'll get you that appointment when you need it. And let's get social. Follow us online for giveaways, events, and other important information. So that's MTSU. We have Instagram, our Twitter page, and then our Facebook page. So I'll leave that up for a second while you jot those things down, or you can take a photo with your phone so you can follow us on our social media. Again, I want to express that we're really happy that you're here. We want to be a part of your success story here at MTSU. So we look forward to seeing you really soon. Please feel free to ask me any questions in the chat, and I'll be here and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Erica. We appreciate you more than you know. Tanya, do you want to talk a little bit?
Yes. Hi, I am Tanya Dowd, and I am the Student Services for MTSU Online. So you may contact me at any time. Let me see if I can share my screen that I want here. Actually, we want this. It'll do. Okay, here's my contact information. My email address, tanya.dowd@mtsu.edu, or you can contact me at distance@mtsu.edu. And then my phone number, if you call this one, I am working remote, so as of right now, but you leave me a voicemail and I will get back to you Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. And then you guys will be getting emails from me throughout the semester each month. And if you opt in for text messaging, I'm going to go through and do like some text messaging just for like reminders and things. Here are some of the student services that we do offer for MTSU Online students. I will send this out so that way you guys have all the information that's available to you. And then also here's the help desk. At any time that somebody is not available, here's the help desk. You can email them at help@mtsu.edu, or you can call their number and then their hours of operation. They do have hours on the weekend and some a little bit later at night. And I know sometimes it's a little hard because some may work and you need them later at night. But if you have, just email them, they'll get back to you, or you can send me an email if you need some kind of help, or any of us here at MTSU Online will try and help you. But that is it for mine. If anytime you need anything, just contact. We are here to help you guys have a successful semester and time here at MTSU. So that is it for me. And I want to thank everybody for attending, and ask any questions. We'll get back to you with a list of questions and answers if we can do that. And we will post this recording eventually, maybe tomorrow, on our site. So thank you all for attending our webinar.